Did he see the rainbow flag out of his left eye and automatically shifted and turned to the people on his right? Let me just break it to you. That was not actually the gay flag. Welcome to the Father Leo Show, where I am dishing out faith, culture, and commentary. And in this episode, we're going to ask whether or not Pope Leo XIV dismissed the gay community at one of his first addresses to the public, particularly to journalists. There's a video out there looking like he has dismissed the gay community by trying to avoid shaking hands with someone who apparently had a gay flag. But you know what? They are absolutely wrong on so many levels, so let's just jump right into it. But before we do, please make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment. Again, I'm seeing that our videos are being suppressed. People are telling me that this is happening, so your engagement certainly helps, as well as going to patreon.com/The Father Leo Show. Your monthly support gives us the ability to continue to produce these shows and hopefully feed you body, mind, and soul. So let's just jump right into it and ask the question, did Pope Leo dismiss the gay community? Because we clearly know Pope Francis did not. So there's a video out there in one of his early addresses where Pope Leo is walking through the crowd. And you got to know that this was an address particularly to journalists in the Paul VI Hall, Paulo VI Aula Paulo VI. And it's a humongous hall that holds about 30,000 people. And he normally gives the address there in front of the resurrected Christ. And he was talking particularly to journalists. And what's interesting is that journalists who are promoting this story that Pope Leo dismissed the gay flag in the gay community, you can see that there is fake news. I'll explain. Okay, so there he is. Apparently people are looking at this so closely. Did he see the rainbow flag out of his left eye and automatically shifted and turned to the people on his right? And as he walked past it all, then he turned to the left so that he avoided seeing the gay flag. Well, let me just break it to you. That was not actually the gay flag. And I know you're thinking, but it's a rainbow flag. But it's actually the the European symbol of peace. So if you actually look at a peace flag, it is a rainbow flag. And that was in place way before the LGBTQ community overtook the rainbow symbol and turned it into a sexual deviation flag. And so it became a pride flag. But the flag that he actually did not see was actually the peace flag, which is the first words that he addressed. He said to everybody, "Peace be with you." So the flag that people are saying was the gay flag, number one, that is incorrect. It was not the gay flag. It was the international peace flag. And I tell you this because there are a lot of people who are, again, just getting Pope Leo wrong. And frankly, it's embarrassing, especially when you have people like Sunny Hostin saying she's a good Catholic and she has concerns for the Pope because he seems to be anti-gay. This is from The View, which is honestly not a viewpoint at all. It is truly brainwashing. And this is the junk that's coming from someone who claims to be Catholic.
I always think it's exciting to watch the conclave and look for the black smoke and the white smoke and just the ceremony of it. During these very trying times in our country, we certainly need spiritual leadership. Because of some of the things that we're experiencing. I'm a little concerned about this choice for the LGBTQ plus community. In 2012, he gave an address to bishops, and he lamented the popular culture fostered and sympathy for beliefs and practices that are at odds with the gospel, and that's a quote. And then he cited the homosexual lifestyle and alternative families comprised of same-sex partners and their adopted children. I think that Pope Francis certainly made great changes in terms of embracing the LGBTQ plus community and extending blessings to the community. And I hope that this is that this Pope doesn't roll back.
But I'm gonna give him, come to that in his time. This
Right.
guy's
So I think it's important that we know that what you're quoting from is from 2012.
Who actually watches this show? Well, you're going to say, Father Leo, you obviously do. I do not. These are just news feeds or clips that come on. And honestly, that was like 2 minutes of my brain being wasted listening to these women who are almost self-proclaimed theologians. Sunny Hostin claiming she is a faithful Catholic. And again, this is a debate that we're constantly going to have. Joe Biden is a faithful Catholic. Nancy Pelosi is a faithful Catholic. Governor Newsom, a faithful Catholic. And all of these people stand up to want to kill children in the mother's womb. And they literally promote laws that create more confusion about the definition of things like marriage and the sanctity of the sexual act. And so when you get stuff like this coupled with what news is going to say about Pope Leo, you have to know this, people, my audience. They are 1,000% wrong. But then Sunny Hostin changes her tune as soon as she finds out one unique thing about this Pope Leo.
Also, very interesting to me because President Trump, as you remember, called Haiti a certain type of country. As it turns out, our new American Pope has Haitian and Black roots. So we actually have a Black Pope. Apparently, it's like chef's kiss for me. So apparently, both of his maternal grandparents are described as Black, Haitian, or mulatto in several census documents. And on their marriage license, the grandfather's birth place is Haiti, listed as Haiti. Her birthplace is listed as born in New Orleans. They were identified as people of color, but in 1920, when they migrated to Chicago, the census reflected their race as white.
So I'm loving everything about this Pope. Let me tell you.
Okay, so they only love the Pope now because he has blood in him from Haitian roots, or so Black people roots. You can see that this identity politics is what's actually creating division. They're going to love his blood, but they hate his position. It's almost like people getting very excited that a new pope has been elected, but they choose not to listen to him. They get caught up in the emotion of the day, but then as soon as he starts teaching the Catholic faith, people are going to dismiss him. Now, here's why I'm bringing this up. Because guess what? You and I could be faithful Catholics or faithful Christians, and we might not like the things that Pope Leo or Pope Francis is saying. So how do we approach this from a Catholic point of view so that we stay good Catholics? Number one, make sure you actually have an authentic relationship with Jesus Christ and the church that he established. And why? Because if we only want to have a relationship with Jesus Christ and not the church that he established, then we are Protestants. And guess what? I will say that Sunny Hostin, while claiming to identify as Catholic, is really taking on a Protestant point of view. Secondly, not only are you supposed to have a relationship with Jesus and his church, which are actually seen as one because the church is the body of Christ. Can you hear it? This is called ecclesiology, the sacramentality of the Catholic Church. And a lot of people have not studied ecclesiology, so they're not going to see that and see them as two distinct things. And while they are distinct, Christ is very present in his church through the sacraments, through the Word of God, through the sacred priesthood, and obviously through the people of God. That doesn't make the Pope God. It doesn't make the cardinals God. It doesn't make the people of God God. But they are together. In the same way, marriage is the union of two people, but they are distinct. What binds them together is the sacrament of love. So that's one thing. Secondly, please do not get your news from pundits like this. please make sure you get a perspective from people who actually have had experience of living in the Vatican, who understand the culture of the Catholic Church, and particularly from balanced priests and nuns who might have a show or a podcast. And I say this not because I want to dismiss the laity, no, but because I can tell you that a lay person doesn't go through the challenges of having to try to be a bridge to people who are not in the fold. So they're going to blame Pope Leo for taking this position that might bring more clarity to the document Fiducia Supplicans, which Pope Francis wrote, that honored the blessing of the people in a same-sex union. Very confusing, but theologically and pastorally, guess whose burden that falls on? Us. So we have that experience of that challenge. A lot of lay people don't. And so it's where you're getting your news from has to matter. And the third thing is, if you are learning about the Pope but not praying for him, then therein lies the problem. As much as you consume the media, how much of it is turning into prayer for the person in the media? Because this Pope is probably not going to say or create waves like perhaps Pope Francis did, because there was a real change with the way he handled tradition. But I can tell you that if you are just learning about the Pope, but not taking real time to pray for him, then you're going to be just as confused as some of these folks who are basically spouting off lies. So that's what I wanted to offer to you, because so much more is coming out about Pope Leo. And I can tell you that as much as people love him now, the honeymoon is going to end. And the daggers and the claws are going to come out. And it's our job as the faithful to not only love his office, but pray for him as a person, that he will have the strength, because that's what Jesus prophesied in Luke's gospel. Jesus prays for Peter, namely the papacy, the longevity of the Pope, and it's going to be Leo's job now to strengthen the faith of his brothers, strengthen the faith of the church, strengthen the faith of the people of God. I hope that this helps, because the Pope didn't dismiss the gay flag. But here's one more thought. But if he saw the rainbow flag, but he knew it was the peace sign, it was the symbol of peace, and avoided it, it's only because he's a very aware diplomat and wanted to avoid any optic that would be interpreted as him supporting the gay community's agenda. Because I'm sure he supports anyone who wants to have a relationship with Christ, even if they struggle with various things in their life, including being gay. I'm sure that the Pope would honor that. But if he avoided it, because we can only presume that he didn't see it or presume that he saw it and avoided it, one way or the other, if he avoided it, it's not because he doesn't like the peace sign, and it's not because he doesn't like gay people. It's because he wanted to avoid the optic that the media would turn as a meme and as a headline, and the narrative that people will push and shove down our throats and say, Pope Leo is continuing Pope Francis's legacy of basically equalizing homosexual marriages with heterosexual marriages. And by the way, heterosexual marriages are not equal either. So again, it just requires us to be very aware. Having a relationship with Christ and his church, that means know the teachings. Stop listening to the crazy pundits and make sure you are praying for him. And so let's just say that prayer, that God will continue to bless this Holy Father, because he's walking literally in a minefield, and there's going to be wolves out there that want to destroy him, and even wolves dressed like sheep that want to destroy and cancel this Pope. Thankfully, the word Leo means lion, and hopefully he has the heart and the strength of a lion to overcome the silliness of these wrong interpretations that's going to promote fake news when he's really out to promote the good news of Jesus Christ. Thank you for watching. God bless you. I hope you enjoyed this. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment. And please, please, please support us on patreon.com/thefatherleo show so that we can continue to dish out faith, culture, and pastorally accurate theological commentary. God bless you and stay hungry for Him.